not particularly fond of the modern, postmodern artwork, I still enjoyed seeing the artwork and even allowed myself to be shocked by some particular pieces, so just beware of that when you go in there. But please always keep an open mind about you and take the experience for what it's worth. When I was there during the Thames River Festival, they had giant balls of fire, literally balls of fire, out on the lawn for people to enjoy and experience in a different way. So always pay attention to what is oftentimes going outside the buildings as well as inside. On to Millennium Footbridge. Many of you are probably thinking of Harry Potter when you see this bridge. Yes, you are correct in some ways. It was part of the movie. But this bridge is so much more than cinematic experiences. It obviously connects both sides of London to each other, so I must have gone over this bridge dozens of times to see plays, museums, galleries, exhibitions. So also over this bridge, in the sky, I saw fireworks for the Thames River Festival. So it's just neat, different perspectives of the bridge. From this bridge, you can also get an excellent view of the Tate Modern and St. Paul's Cathedral, which stands directly near the entrance or the exit of the bridge. The Globe Theatre is next, and probably my favorite stop on this tour. If you come to London at any time, I strongly recommend going here. For my month here in London, I managed to see 2 plays there, Troilus and Cressida and As You Like It. After seeing those 2 plays, I realized that Shakespeare's plays are not merely meant to be read, but they're meant to be seen. These actors interacted with the audience, and if you were a groundling and standing like I was, you make more of a connection with the actors on stage than if you're sitting, or just in a regular theater. So I strongly recommend getting a standing ticket if you go to see a play at the Globe. Yes, you may be standing for a few hours, but the connection and experience you have there is worth some wobbly sore legs. Next up is the Golden Hind, which is another attraction that I did not get to go to in London, but I did get to see up close and personal. It is a reconstruction of Sir Francis Drake's ship, and they even have tour guides on it in period correct costume. Now, I know you're all wondering what a hind is not your behind. It is a heraldic term for a female deer. The ship was previously named the Pelican, but then renamed after one of the sponsors' family crests of Drake's worldly voyages. So yes, go see the Hind. Cool little historical place. Can't go out in the water though. It kind of stays in the harbor, so no pirating on the Thames River for you. Sorry. And yet again, we have another bridge on our journey, the London Bridge. From my experience, people often confuse London Bridge with Tower Bridge, but they are not the same. London Bridge, although is not as extravagant and breathtaking as Tower Bridge, is still an asset to the city. For almost 2,000 years, there has been some sort of, even though the bridge today, it looks quite modern, and yeah. This bridge is quite a busy bridge, and from my experiences of crossing it, there's so many people that use this bridge. Tower Bridge is the next bridge, and it is the bridge that everyone thinks of when they come to London. Surprisingly, I only went across that bridge twice in my entire time in London, but it is quite a beautiful bridge to see. There's also an exhibit in the bridge's 2 towers that I would like to check out, but never got the chance to. And until about 2, and if you come, you probably will too. At this next stop, you can see the Tower of London and the Gherkin. The first landmark I will talk about is the Gherkin, and since I speak German, I know that Gherkin in German means cucumber, but people here like to call it like the big pickle, so it's close enough, I guess. The Gherkin you can see almost anywhere throughout the city, and at first I hated it because it seemed like such an eyesore against all the pretty architecture and old buildings of London. But after learning about the city, it grew on me after I learned about how the city is a juxtaposition between old and new, ancient and modern, all mixed together. So now I'm rather quite fond of the Gherkin. The next stop is Traitor's Gate at the Tower of London. Although I did not see the Traitor's Gate from the inside, I did go to the Tower of London. The Tower of London, which was more visible from my last picture, actually consists of many towers, not just one. I always had this misconception of it being just one huge looming creepy tower, but it's actually many. I learned this by walking around the entire length of the tower, which is about like 5 or 6 different towers. Also inside the Tower of London are the crown jewels. And be prepared to be sorely disappointed because there are only about 5 or 6 crowns. They built it up that they're going to be like rooms full of jewels and crowns and scepters, and there's not. So definitely worth experiencing, but just keep that in mind. But the Tower of London is a very neat sight. Go see it. Alright, and here we are at the end of the tour. Bet you were waiting for this moment for a while. So after spending a month in London, I looked back on all my pictures, and I took on that first day and realized that I knew almost all of the buildings and had been to almost all of them. It showed me then that I had really learned and experienced much of the city in such a short amount of time. I hope that all of you will be able to make the most of your time here in London and realize how interconnected everything is, whether it's physically connected, by the Thames River, or connected through your experiences. London is what you make of it. I think of all the different experiences and events that stuck out in my mind during my time here in London. The river ride down the Thames that I just shared with you now was the one that probably stuck in my mind the most because it was our first day. And it put many things in perspective about what I had learned or what I had thought of London, because I could just see it all in front of me and understand that the river is really the heart of the city.